If you need FIFA 17 coins, go and check out igsky.com. Their link will be down in the description. Use code CAPGUN to get yourself a discount. You're right guys, it's Capgun Tom here, and welcome to episode number 3 of Destination Dortmund. Now if you didn't see the first 2 episodes, I'd highly recommend you go back and watch it, because you're going to be as hooked on this series as I am, and you don't start a series that you're hooked on episode number 3. Would you start Game of Thrones on episode number 3? I don't freaking think so. So go back and watch those 2 episodes before starting this if you haven't already, or maybe just go and rewatch them so you can remind yourself of what's going on. Basically, in the last episode, we managed to win Division 10, and I decided it's time to put ourselves to the test. We're going to go away and try and qualify for the weekend league. So you can see we've got 15 hours remaining. Time is ticking, and it's going to be a tricky one because although we've had quite a smooth run up until now, I know it says 3 losses on our records, but those were all disconnects. It's going to be difficult because obviously people trying to qualify for FUT Champions, and FUT Champions is the most competitive game mode on FIFA at the moment, and people are going to be really sweating out to try and win. Now, we had an Adrian Ramos, he got injured, and what do you do with a horse that breaks its leg? You put it down, aka you discard that thing because it makes financial sense to do so. I could discard that injured Ramos for 300 coins and buy a brand new Ramos for 400 coins, so that's like 100 coin different, and I think that a foot healing or whatever it was about 300 coins. Now we're making a signing. I missed out on a Merino for 400 coins, but I do go and pick him up for 500 coins. The cheeky Spanish man from Dortmund is going to be going into the centre attacking mid position. He's actually got really good all-round stats, but you know what? I think that we've got a surplus supply of defensive midfielders, and he's, you know, kind of like an all-rounder, so he can definitely go in that cam position. So Merino gets that check mark on the checklist, all looking good, and you can see every player we need to get to finish this series. That black column is going to be the most difficult one. Of course, all the informs, ones to watch, and special cards in that column. So that's where the real expensive players lie. Now we're going to go into FUT Champions, see if we can win the second round of the tournament. Now we're coming up against our strongest opponent today. This is by far the strongest team. Like every other team has had not that much chemistry and had bronzes all over it. This thing, full gold, Musa, Sané, it's got like sweaty players all over the place, you know, it's going to be a tricky one. Anyway, you can see here some good work from Weigl out on the wing, and look at this passing, oh my dear lord, and that is Burnich, our bronze centre mid, coming through, lacing it home with the left and getting us a goal. Now, unfortunately, we end up conceding to Sané. He goes through, makes it 1-1, but we're on the prowl again, lovely back heel, and there's Merino on his debut, getting himself a goal. Good stuff, Merino, that's what we like to see, and now we are through with Ramos. Can we finish this one off? Oh, Begovic makes a save, but there's Ramos to tap it home. Our brand new Ramos. He doesn't seem to be too upset that I discarded his, I guess his identical twin, and the guy decides to rage quit out. So that is a very, very good start to the episode. We get some coins in the bank, and as you can see, when we go back to the arena, that our tournament table has been updated. So considering we've only got a non-rare gold and bronze silver team at the moment, you know, I don't think we're doing too bad to have already made it into the semi-finals of this tournament. Right, so there's nothing else to do, nothing else to sign because we've got no coins. We're going to dive into the semi-final of the Weekend League qualifier. And this team is dirt, like literal dirt, like the pace everywhere, strength. Oh, it's just an absolute friggin' nightmare. It's not the sort of team that I wanted to be coming up against. But you know what? I didn't back down. You never know. The person who's playing with it could be absolute trash. And unfortunately, he turned out to be kind of good. Now, that was a crazy shot. If you go back and watch that, it was a crazy, crazy shot. I have no idea how that went in. Anyway, Begovic was on some sort of like drug during this game because I could not score against him for toffee. It was actually crazy. Look at the number of chances. Probably should have done a little bit better with this one here, but he made some unbelievable double saves in this. And the referee made it all about him. I did not put in a single slide tackle in this game that was a foul. Like, every slide tackle I made was good. I literally gave away about 11, 12 fouls just through conservative tackles, and that's like running alongside people. Look at this! I've never seen anything like it. It's just absolutely ridiculous. 2 penalties for running alongside someone. Now, I guess the first one was kind of more of a trip. Unfortunately, it does look like we're going to be going out. You can see last minute, we managed to sweat him. I just wanted a little bit of retribution for what he'd done to me, but it's 90th minute, it's 3-1, nothing's coming of it, and that is how the game ended. Now, if we have a look at the stats, look at this. As I said, no slide tackles were put in, like that were fouls. 11 fouls. He didn't even give away one foul. Like 11 fouls through conservative tackles. I don't even know how that's possible. Anyway, no point crying over spilt milk. We're going to go and give this tournament another crack. So, time is ticking. I had to take a little bit of a break, and you can see there's 8 hours left. We've got 9 attempts. I don't think we could even take all 9 attempts in those 8 hours, unless, of course, we got knocked out in the first round every single time. Now, going back to a slightly easier team, as you can see, this guy's got 53 chem. He's starting to build a Turkish league side, which ain't a bad shout, because I'm sure the players are pretty cheap. But he hasn't got full chem. He's not the whole way there, although he does have some OP players like Butland in there. And as you can see, after losing game, the one thing you don't want to do is go behind, especially early. Secondly, you do not, if that happens, failing that, if that happens, you don't want to go 2-0 down. That's exactly what happened. What is going on? We've had a full on meltdown. It's disgraceful. I can't believe I let this happen. Anyway, you know what? I'm never going to give up. So we're going to fight on. And you can see there, Adrian Ramos getting through on goal. And it is an easy little slot home for him, as you can see. And then we put him through again. Look at him. He's away. Come on, Adrian Ramos. You've got to get it level. And he does too. Oh, 27 minutes in. You know, the guy had a lucky break, I believe, at the start. But, you know, the sort of quality in my play sort of showed through. And I don't want it to sound arrogant, but it just, you know, when an opponent isn't quite as good at you. I really did have a couple of good chances as well that I should have done better with. You can see eventually that I make sure we head it back for the little tramp to Pulisic. Ramos unselfishly doing that because he is on a hat-trick, of course. And as you can see, is he going to get rewarded for his unselfishness? He is. The guy's defending was a little bit dodgy and we just run away. I don't know what he's doing with his defenders there. And we just slot it home for Ramos' third. As I said, I will be bringing back the hat-trick counter. I'm keeping track of them in my head. Sauerland's got one from the last episode. Ramos has got one from this episode. And we'll have like a little leaderboard of Dortmund players with hat-tricks to see who has the most at the end of the series. So good start. We're back into the quarterfinals. It's crazy that you play one game, you're in the quarterfinals if you win it. We got to look higher and aim higher basically to get all the way to the final. Now I'm going to make some signings because what I realised is I can't afford to buy fitness cards. I can't afford to buy them. So I need to buy more players just to rotate them. That even means discard some of the older ones and just buy in new ones. But I thought, you know what, we'll go this way and sort of like try and bring in more players and then sort of rotate them. Now there's one player I really want to get, Emre Moore, the striker bronze. Although he's bronze, he's an absolute monster. He plays more like a gold player, to be honest. And since we can't have him as he's about 30,000 coins, we're going to settle for another Turkish player from Dortmund. And that's going to be Sahin. We put a bid of 650 down on him, bearing in mind he probably discards for about the 640 mark, so after we finish with him we can just discard him. Also, I thought, you know what, we have no replacement striker for Adrian Ramos. We need someone who can go forward to rest Adrian Ramos for this rotation, so I got Dembele, who's going to be a fantastic player for us. We all know that he's going to be an absolute monster once we get him on the field. He's got 4-star skills. What more could you want? So we bought Guerrero, we bought ourselves Sahin, and we also bought ourselves Dembele. We basically put them all into the team, and yeah, I think that we're starting to, you know, get quite far forward with this series. It's like we're only in episode 3, but as I said in the last episode, I'm going to be really aggressive with signings. I want to build the team as quick as possible so we can get more coins for playing. You know, FIFA really does reward you for playing more games this year, especially with Foot Champions and all the rewards and prizes that gives out. So we've got to get a good team together so we have a chance of winning as many games as possible. That's what our team looks like. The check marks on the checklist go down. We've actually completed a whole gold column already. That's nuts considering we're only episode 3. This is how the team's looking. Of course, players are out for rotation, stuff like that, injuries, etc. And now we're going to dive into another game. So what is our opponent rocking? It's a decent squad. He's going Serie A, but you can see he's got a lone Boateng in there. The person I'm looking at most in this squad is Perrin. This guy is a monster. If you need a budget Serie A goalkeeper, buy him. He is unreal for the price. Inform Handanovic might be slightly more reliable and better for me, but I think for the price, you're probably not getting that much more out of your like 100,000 coins instead of your 2k. Now, we had a great chance to score a debut goal with Dembele, but he missed it. How could you miss it? It was such a beautiful run and bit of interlinking play. But we go through here. You can see it's Dembele again. Will he do better this time? He actually passes it across to Adrian Ramos, who applies the finish. Of course, good work, Ramos, who actually is still on the pitch. You know, we didn't take him off to rest him yet. We will probably have to do so in the next couple of games. And you can see here that unfortunately, after going 1-0 up, we end up conceding a bit of bad defending on my part, I believe. So we'll try better to not let that happen again. But Dembele, he steps up right to the mark when you need him most. In fact, our two new signings, Guerrero and Dembele, combining there to get the goal. So good stuff. And that might be the goal that sees us going into the semi-finals. In fact, it is. The game's over. What's going on? Literally, not all that much action in this game. You know, we really have seen really high-scoring games at the moment because we've got such a weak team and we're coming up against weak team, weak players, stuff like that. So we're seeing lots of goals going either way. That was a low-scoring game, which is a bit out of the ordinary. Decided to make another signing, bolster our midfielder. We go and buy Roda, who I believe is probably going to be one of my most favourite players in this team defensively. His stats all round are freaking sick. I used him a lot a couple seasons ago when he was at Bayern Munich, and he's still just as good now as he was back then. Now we're coming up against a full Atletico Madrid team. You can see these got players in the wrong positions, but it is a full Atletico team. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes down. Most worryingly, he has Griezmann, who is like by far the most expensive player we've actually come up against. Like he's like 200k. He's more expensive than probably all the teams we've played put together since this series has started. And you can see that unfortunately we concede to a header. Really conceding a lot of goals from crosses. Not really sure what that's down to. Don't usually concede any goals from crosses and headers. I guess that must be because if you have good centre backs, you just generally don't concede them. Had a great chance to equal there, but we did not put that one away. Good save from the goalkeeper. And you can see here we go through with Dembele. This is a very good chance. And he does the skill. Lovely bit of 4 stars. That's what we've been missing. And there's Guerrero on the overlap. We pass it to him and he slots it home to make it 1-1. Very, very important goal. Roda had a great chance to get a goal on his debut, but unfortunately our black makes a very, very good save to put it past the post. Really should have done a lot better here. I was sort of like in two minds. Do I pass it? Do I tramp it? Do I shoot? Don't know. Should have done good there. And I have no idea what's going on. And as you can see, it's going to go to extra time. In fact, it's already going to penalties. Not really all that much was happening in extra time. So, if you don't know, I hate penalties. I cannot take them for shite. I literally cannot take them. I don't understand how to take them. I'm scared to overpower it, so I always underpower it and p-roll it along the floor. Look at this. The other guy doesn't know how to take them either. Actually managed to dive, get back up and save that one there. And then you can see that we actually put a little bit more power on it and this one goes in. So it's 1-0 to me. Looking good. Let's go. Saul is stepping up. Will he put this one away? He will not. He absolutely balloons that one over the bar. Guerrero steps up. Will he get 2 goals in this game? He does indeed. So that's good work from him. And we are 2 goals to the good. Will he get a goal here or will we save it? No, he puts it straight into the back of net. So we are now 2-1 up with 2 penalties to take. Dembele steps up. He's got to put this one away. Fantastic penalty. Laces it in to the bottom corner. Good stuff. Well, it wasn't really bottom corner, but it's close enough. It's close enough. I think if you were doing called out penalties, you probably would count that one. So there we go. Anyway, he manages to score. It's now 3-2. If we score this, we win. But as you can see, I messed it up. Roda had a horrible first game for us. He didn't score the goal early on, and then he misses the penalty. Now Griezmann steps up. You're putting your house on him scoring this one, but he chokes. And you can see that we win the game. We win the penalty shootout and we are in the final. Is this it, boys? Are we going to do it on our second attempt? Let's get into the game. Right, so I thought, you know what? Since this is the final, I am going to go all out. I'm going to use my 1 squad fitness to get all the boys on full fitness. We're going all out. And you can see there, it was an untradeable item anyway, so I might as well use it now. And we decided to put all the players in that we've got, the best team, the best lineup that we could possibly have. And that's sort of what I went for. I ended up changing in-game to a 4-1-2-1-2 with Ramos and Dembele up front. We find ourselves an opponent and we go into the game. And I thought I'd hit the freaking jackpot because look at this team, it's crap. Literally crap. Other than having Musa, Lanzini and Musa up front, it is really bad. I mean, he's got some good defenders, but just generally, his team is not that good. The bronze is in there, should mean that I can do some work against him. Ramos has a chance, he misses. Why did he miss Ramos? I mean, it is his left foot, but really I was hoping to put it away. And it was one of those games, unfortunately. It really was one of those games where everything just sort of went his way. Like, I had a lot of chances, like a hell of a lot of chances, but Mine didn't go in. Every time he shot, it seemed to end up in the back of the net. You can see here that we have a good chance. Maybe I should have put that one more across and I could have had a goal there. But unfortunately, he comes back and you can see he's 2-0 up, 27 minutes in. How I don't score from this, I will never know. What is that? What is that second shot? All you have to do is get on target there and it goes in. We're just literally hounding him non-stop. We get through with Ramos. Will he score? No. Schmeichel stands up big and saves it again. This is not how I saw the final going. We finally make the breakthrough in the 65th minute. It took me a long time to get that goal. And I thought, you know what? We've got a chance. 25 minutes to go. But unfortunately, it was to no avail. Really, really frustrating. We get knocked out in the final. And I am seriously considering whether I can qualify for FUT Champions this week. Can I do it? Can I not do it? I don't know. We'll have to see in the next episode. Guys, if you've enjoyed this, make sure you smash a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Make sure you go back and watch episodes 1 and 2. And I will see you next time. Peace!